Welcome back. Now, we're almost a year away from the local government election, while the next national election is roughly 4 years away. Is it sufficient time for the ANC to reinvent itself before we hit the polls? ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula recently admitted that the party has been infiltrated by criminal cartels. Is this something the public will remember amid mounting criticism against the party? Susan Booysen, Political Analyst and Emeritus Professor at the Wits School of Governance, joins us with her analysis. Susan, thanks so much for your time this afternoon. And let's start there. What will it take for the ANC to, regain trust, especially as we gear up for those local elections next year?
Yes, it will take a massive amount for the ANC to regain the trust and the electoral voter support. The ANC, in terms of elections, as we've seen by elections, is not in an entire state of collapse electorally. But it is really, really struggling to regain lost ground. If it ever will, I don't believe it will ever regain that lost ground. Because if we look at those 4 pillars of ANC political power, which I've also based my scholarly work on, it's party, elections, it's state, and it's the people. And the party itself is stumbling from embarrassment to embarrassment. It's confirmed membership figures just do not look great, even if there are big numbers floating around. But those of available active members do not look good. When the ANC is in trouble spots, like in KwaZulu-Natal on the ground, it finds that there are so many dual memberships going with the MKP that it can hardly do credible meetings. In terms of the state, we've seen much of that in the recent weeks with the Madanga Commission, for example, today with the attempted start of the Parliamentary Commission. The more the ANC seems to want to do to correct its credibility, the more it falls into bigger traps and more revelations start coming, and that there are domino rows of tumbling dominoes. They're showing more and more discrepancies in ANC statements or inconsistencies in what they are claimed to be doing, how much cleanup they're trying to do. And on the ground, basically, we have never seen as much ridicule and scorn of ANC statements, of ANC's attempts to try to reassure the people of South Africa and the electorate out there that it is actually coming with a credible 10-point plan, that it has got strategy to get more professionalization in the public sector. So little of that, and that's the most disconcerting part for the ANC, so little of that is being taken seriously.
So then would you say that admitting to, its shortcomings is not moving the needle at all? I mean, we even take some of their campaigning initiatives so far. We heard from President Ramaphosa admitting that DA-run municipalities are better run than those of the ANC. Top ANC officials also coming out at councillors speaking about issues like service delivery and corruption in local government.
The more we see those honest confessions, and yes, that's better than dishonesty, better than trying to pretend without any credibility that nothing is wrong. But the more that is done, the more people are asking, but who got us into these problems? So at least had a big role in doing that. And what has happened in the last 10, 20, 30 years of governance, that we are in this invidious position at which we hardly seem to be able to see any escape at this stage. So the ANC is really in a very, very difficult situation. It knows what has to be done. It tries to do the best it can in the circumstances, but it is not working.
And let's talk about Joburg for a bit, Susan, a key metro and really the economic hub of the country. It's no secret that the The city is a mess, potholes, infrastructure issues, water issues, robots that don't work, and current Mayor Dada Murero has faced both internal and external criticism. Are we likely to see the ANC lose even further support here? Just looking at a DA poll that unveiled that the ANC support in 5 metros is now less than that of the DA. Johannesburg, of course, being one of those metros. You also mentioned that what we're seeing in the KZN, we are seeing a lot of individuals with a dual membership to parties.
Yes, indeed. Those opinion polls, that were done by the Democratic Alliance, and are things like margin of errors, and those voters who say they, in a poll, that they will not vote, those are not allocated in any way. So it's quite crude, those in poll indications, those specific ones. But yes, there is a message in there, and that is that the DA could improve its situation. It will, however, as these polls also suggest, be very unlikely to gain outright majorities. So it is still going to be coalition politics, but the ANC could be pushed into a position where it would be very unlikely that it can put together a sufficient majority, 50% plus, to be a governing party again in a metro. But yes, much water has to run into the ocean before we get to that exact point. But these early indications are showing that it will be very difficult for the ANC to regain former glory, former electoral majorities.
All right, let's leave it there. Susan, thanks so much for your time and sharing your insights with us this afternoon. Now, that was Susan Booysen, who's a political analyst.